Welcome back to Friday 50/50. Hello, my dear.
Hi, Tam.
How are you?
I'm all right.
It's nice to see you.
Survived.
Yeah, do you want to tell your story?
I've had quite a medical year. I had 2 viruses this year,
Yep.
cold virus, and then 2 weeks ago I had my appendix out.
I know. Join the appendix club.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard you had a very pretty appendix.
I did. The radiology people were all looking at it, and then the guy said, "Oh, do you mind if I take a video for training purposes?" And I was like, it does really hurt when you press on it, but seeing as you've said it's so attractive, of course you can. Flattery will get you everywhere.
Yeah. Now you got a famous appendix.
Famous appendix.
Yeah.
I fell for it hook, line, and sinker.
Right.
And
That's
it really
so cool.
hurts when they press on it too.
Yeah.
So, but vanity, you know.
Wow. We all like acknowledgement, whether it's for our internal organs or anything else.
It's quite exciting.
It's like when I was having Sam and I was very worried because I fell pregnant just before I turned 40. And, of course, there's a risk of Down syndrome as you get older.
Yeah.
And I was very, very scared going into the first test. And they did the test and she said, you have the risk of a 21-year-old. And I felt inappropriately proud. I felt like I'd done something. I was like, yes, like the risk of a 21-year-old, go me. And it was just a quirk of fate, right?
Yeah, I had the same. Everyone kept saying to me, "Oh, you're so young, you'll bounce back from this quite quickly." And I thought, young?
Yeah.
Why is everyone that? I was like, this is great. But then Daniel pointed out to me that, you know, there's mostly geriatrics on my ward. So compared to like a 90-year-old, I was young.
Yeah, but it isn't. Look, I was thinking about this yesterday, the day before, because one of the ladies, very well-known lady who teaches public speaking, Paula Smith.
Oh, yeah.
She was the MC at one of the last big talks I did, and she's a very, very clever lady, very good at what she does. Anyway, she lives up near me in the hills in this beautiful house. I used to actually dream about her house before I knew it was hers, and then when I went round to visit her, I went, you live in my dream house.
Oh, I
right?
love that.
Yeah, beautiful. Anyway, she put a post on because there was some magazine that was doing, or maybe a magazine, maybe an event, and they were celebrating people over 50. So they had like Poe from MasterChef and Guy Pearce and all this.
Yeah.
And she was talking about the worth of people that are older. And I can never help myself on LinkedIn. If anyone posts anything about age being a weakness, I just have to say, what the actual? Like,
Yeah.
I just... For one, I've said on here, no doubt, I've never felt more alive or more free or more vibrant.
Yeah.
I feel like things are only just beginning.
Yeah.
And
I do too.
what's with this? I actually feel the same way, young or old. I feel upset when people discriminate against young people, and I feel upset. It's so, you know, that whole monkey thing we talk about here, it's just so basic. It's like racism or anything that's just so basic. Why would melanin mean anything? Why would an age mean anything? I mean, yes, maybe a Russian prima ballerina, you're not starting at 80.
Yes.
But, you know, yesterday on the news, there is an 80-year-old who completed the Ironman.
Yeah.
The Ironman I thought was a fake event because I couldn't believe people could do that many kilometres. And she's 80.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I thought about kind of, you know, as I keep looking, what work do I want to do, what means stuff to me. I was like, maybe I can bang on about age being a wonderful thing, but I feel like I'll be too shouty about it. Like I get too upset, so then I'm not really inspirational. I more just want to yell at everyone and go, that's bullshit. What are you thinking, you dickhead? Like it's not very, hey.
Yes, I watched, do you ever watch Take 5 on the ABC with Zan Rowe?
No.
When she interviews all these random people and asks them what their top 5 songs are of their life. And she interviewed Mel C from Spice Girls.
Yeah.
And Mel C's 51.
Yeah, something
so
like that,
she's a few
right?
years older. And she's just discovered that she wants to be a DJ now. And she looked amazing.
Yeah.
She was, you know, she's got kids and everything, but she was doing nightclubs and big festivals. And I thought, good on you, Mel.
Yeah.
You know, like these are people just sort of coming into the, what's my next career going to be? What's my next big adventure going to be in life? I think that's really quite inspirational.
I do too. And I think that I feel very lucky that I don't have the age thing. Like it sort of feels like the opposite to me. I don't know if it's the rebel in me, but it feels very natural to just feel more powerful, not less.
Yeah.
I think the thing that upsets me the most actually is when people in an age group like me, so I'm 51 too, right? I think I'm about to turn 52. I was going to ask my high school friends. I can't remember. I think I'm about to turn 52.
Facebook.
Right, we'll check on Facebook. But what upsets me a lot more is the people of the age belittling the age. So when people don't believe in themselves or denigrate my generation as that generation, it makes me the most upset because I'm like, you need to be on the side of good. Now, if a 22-year-old doesn't understand the power of a 62-year-old, how could they know any better? They know nothing. And that is the other thing that makes me think it's so ludicrous. Like, people say, oh, you know, the young HR girl didn't give me the role because I'm 55. And I'm like, that young HR girl has had no life experience. She's gone to uni, come out, thinks she knows everything. Of course. Wake up.
That's what we were all like.
That's what we're all like. Remember when you're in school and someone would say, how old's your teacher? And you go, 82, 85, and they're 30?
Yeah.
When my mum said she was pregnant with my little sister.
Oh, the problem with my appendix when I laugh at her,
laugh.
so
right, okay.
I'll just hold my belly while I laugh.
All right. So my mum says, I think she was 33 when she fell pregnant with my little sister.
Yeah.
And Mum and Dad were in the kitchen, I remember. And Dad goes, Mum's got some news. And I said, oh, yes. And she said, I'm going to have another baby. And I remember gasping and running into the office and bawling from shock because she was so old. There was no way she could have a baby at 33, right? So I don't expect young people to get it, but I do expect people from my own generation to not buy into the BS that's sort of being targeted at them. Like, cut that shit out, man. And I say that, of course, as usual, as someone that's not in the corporate world, not trying to maintain a job in the corporate world, I do see ridiculous discrimination around age. Very clever people that I know have lost opportunities because they're seen as the wrong age. But just because people are stupid doesn't mean we have to hop on that train, right?
Yeah, you're right. This sort of comfort with my age and doing new things has only come for me in the last little bit.
Yeah.
After my husband died, I was very, well, this is it for me.
Yeah.
I'm old and out to pasture now.
Is that what you're going to do?
But that was just my psychological state at the time. But yeah, I don't feel that way now.
No, but it's a pretty understandable first starting point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shock, grief.
Yeah.
Well, that's that.
That's that.
That's my life.
I'm done.
I'm done.
No one's ever going to find me attractive ever again. I'm done.
I'm not going to do anything else now. I'll just sit here.
Yes, and wait to die.
Yeah, I'll sit and wait to die. I'm probably not old enough for that dream.
But other people would say to me, oh, like, would you have another partner? And I just looked at them like they were nuts.
Yeah,
but
of course.
Now that I've had, a good amount of time and counselling and worked on myself and that sort of stuff, I do see so much opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
In life. But I think I confused my wording as well. I used to say old, but what I think I really meant was wise.
Yes.
Because, like, I like to talk about, because, I'm into tech and stuff.
Yes.
I love listening now to where we are with AI and the tech bubble and stuff like that and going, you know what, when I started work at 19, we were using typewriters. There was no email. Computers came in the year I was working and I've seen this giant expansion of technology and that's just over my, career.
Yeah.
But a lot of things have happened. So when you kind of go, oh, this has happened, 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 there's an expanse of time there that makes me think I'm old.
Yes.
But it's just a cumulative effect of experience. So I don't know what the right word is for that.
I know.
And the word that always comes out of my mouth is old, but that's not really what I mean.
I know.
I don't have the right... I guess it's wisdom that's come with time, experience, but... I don't know what that word is.
Sometimes I say I'm
we
old
need a new
and
word.
I
We
laugh.
need to invent a new word.
Yeah, that would be good. So because I read I was sent a thing. Let's see if I can find it.
It's like, there's like, you can see that you're not as young as people, but there's a difference because so much has happened that you've experienced in the world and stuff. But at the same time, you're in your current body not feeling that old.
Okay, here we go. This is a thing that my auntie, who's an incredible woman, she's 83 or 4, and oh my God, talk about knowing how to get older gracefully. So she has I don't know what you'd call Lazarus. People may have heard of him. He's been around for a long time, a guru, but that might not be the right term. The quote here from him is, age does not bestow wisdom, but wisdom does bestow age that is rich with dignity and bountiful with grace. Age does not bestow wisdom, but wisdom does bestow age that is rich with dignity and bountiful with grace. So I would agree with that in terms of, I know people that the older they've got, the more they've blossomed, the more open, the more loving, the more grace-filled, the more spiritual, the more wise, the more wonderful, right?
Yeah.
And then I have known people who, through disappointments or decisions they've made or whatever else, have got smaller and tighter and colder and more selfish and bitter.
Yes.
Tragically.
Yes.
Tragically.
Yes.
I had this is another one that I had, but I don't think I actually want to do it. Did I tell you about my idea for a group called Big Bloomers?
No.
So this comes from this same idea, right? So I was reading there's a wonderful woman on LinkedIn who works in Perth, and she coincidentally is a friend of that same auntie, Elena, and a lot of people will know Elena. She does wonderful work, and she has a group. I feel like it might be called Courageous Women.
Yes, Elena, yes. She's
wonderful.
Lovely, yeah.
She posted about feeling a bit nervous about her age, and I wrote one of my very strong comments back, but I wrote it very lovingly, this one, because she's awesome, and I was like, cut that shit out. A bit like Ash said to me, Ash McGrath, when I was meeting her for the first time before she came on here, and I said, I don't know if I want to have you up first because I'm not used to doing this yet and I want it to be good for you. And she was like, cut that shit out. That's what I was like with Elena. Yeah. Anyway, out of that idea, I had this idea of people that I know that the older they get, the more they open, the more they blossom. And then I had this fun idea, which was there could be a group of women, and it's the Big Bloomers group, and you have to wear undies that I have become addicted to since I had Sam, which is the big undies, which I never thought I'd wear, right? But honestly, there's no turning back now. And the rule is when you come to a Big Bloomers event, you have to show the waistband of your big undies. You don't have to show the whole ones. Hopefully they're floral, but that's not, And then it's just about this idea that we're talking about, like how to feel freer, more in love, more rich, more. But I say it and I love the idea, but I don't think I'm going to do it. I don't think I've actually got the impetus to do it. So if anyone listening goes, I like that idea too, please.
Please sign us up. To your Big Bloomers.
Big Bloomers. Yeah, I really like it. And it's not a name taken on Instagram or Facebook or anything. Yeah. But for me, it's the dual meaning.
I wonder why.
I thought you were laughing at it in that way. Grace
I think
is not
we've got
here
lots
today.
of really good role models too now. Like I look at Reese Witherspoon. I think she's one of my, production company making stories about women, no one else is going to make these movies. I'm going to make them, she's
a pocket rocket.
She's only a few years older than us, so.
Yeah, she's a pocket rocket.
Yeah, and she looks amazing and just
the looking amazing as a Hollywood actress is best not to compare with in terms of a normal person because there's reasons why she looks
still
amazing.
Looks normal amazing.
Well, yeah, she's certainly not plastic fantastic.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Aging gracefully but healthily.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is very inspiring, and I think that's the motto: is the people in the group aging. They're the group that I want to support one another, not make it worse by buying into the BS, right?
Yes, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Sorry, I took us on a tangent.
No, it's
was
fine.
That on your tangent?
No, it wasn't on the list, but I actually was thinking about it just yesterday, watching that 80-year-old with the triathlon. Yeah. And then on today, there was a thing on my news feed, and it was about a couple in Melbourne they're 100 and 101 and been married 75 years.
Oh, geez.
Very, very fun video to watch. The lady was a real character. She was saying, he said, we've always got along very well. And she said, yes, I taught him how to do most things. And then he said, well, these days, her name is maybe Mary. He goes, these days Mary sleeps a lot. And she goes, puts hands on her hips like that. She said, I don't know about that. It was very,
So
very
cute.
fun and very cute.
Yeah.
She drinks Baileys every day. He's never drunk. Because I never saw the point. Never drunk or smoked.
Wow.
She said, I love Baileys as much as I love Eric.
Oh.
And she has her tipple. Yeah, it was very lovely.
You've got to live your best life, don't you?
Yeah, well, these guys
Whatever
were
that
having a
means
good
for
time.
you.
Yeah, well, that's the
Yeah.
thing, whatever that means for
For
you.
you, I think that's the key.
That's
yeah.
a good segue into the next topic.
Okay.
So I went to the Festival of Fiction with my book.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it's been very interesting time. So off I toddled to pitch to the publishers. I had to have a minimum of 70,000 words. 9 days before the event, I had 34,000 words.
Yeah.
So in 9 days, I wrote 36,000 words.
Awesome.
And on the last day, I was at the festival between talks and I finished the last chapter, looked at the Excel spreadsheet that my book coach had given me to track the numbers, and as I did the full stop, it was 70,000.
Beautiful.
So that was magic. Off I go to the one of the publishers, I won't say who with, and they had all different publishers from around Australia, very well-known names. And I went to one out of Melbourne, sat down, did my pitch, which I'd been taught how to do the week before by Sasha Wolseley, who's a...
We know Sasha.
do you know
Yeah,
Sasha?
she's amazing.
There you go.
We went to some. She did a lot of free sessions at Mundaring Library. The library put her on, and we went to like everything that she did. We went to.
What did
Sorry,
she
I'm
do
looking
at
over there.
Mundaring Library? Dan's in the room rather than Grayson. What did she do at Mundaring Library?
How to figure out what genre you were writing for, whether to self-publish or get, whatever.
Yes.
There was about 4 of them. Writing children's books. Yeah.
So she ran this pitching workshop, which was at Boyer Library. Thanks very much.
How good's Boyer?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Shout out to Boyer.
Shout out to Boyer, where we
Beautiful.
now live.
Yeah.
It was 500 metres down the road. How fantastic. Anyway, off I go. She taught us how to pitch. So I pitched my book and the lady from the publishers goes, that was an excellent pitch. I said, great. And she said, and I can't publish your book. And I said, oh. And she said, because I'm about to publish another author with almost an identical story to yours. And I went, oh. And because I didn't understand publishing, I said, oh, could I come back to you later? And she said, oh, no, now that I've got an author with this subject, I'll look after them for years. Like, I can never work with you, really.
Really?
So I left kind of Devo because they'd suggested...
That makes no sense to me.
Well,
That's like saying because I'm a music producer and because I have one rap artist, I can't have 2.
Yeah, but it's
Does it not work that way?
no, I think it's actually they don't have that many authors and
Yeah,
I
okay.
think they can't have a cannibalisation of theme.
Within. Okay.
So I left quite sad because it had been suggested that in our pitches they would let us send our first 3 chapters. So I was thinking I'd get a yes for her to at least read it. And she said, well, I'm not even going to read it because it's exactly... She said, basically yours is set in Western Australia and Europe. My author's set in Victoria and Europe. It's far too similar.
Okay.
So off I toddle, I was sad, and then I talked to Tess Woods, who wrote A Venice Hotel and was the organiser of the thing. And honestly, my friend Catherine, who had volunteered there on the committee, had told me Tess Woods is gorgeous. I meet Tess Woods. She was gorgeous, and she wrote in my copy of the Venice Hotel, in her signature, she wrote, I'm looking forward to being the first person in line to get your book signed. I can't wait. Something like that. It was just a gorgeous thing to write.
Yeah.
Anyway, I said to him, Devo, this publisher told me she's already got my book or the theme of my book. And she said, well, the good news about that is if that book is successful, all
Someone else
publishers
will
will
be
be
looking
looking
for
for that. Right. So that was one
good.
element. So that was very interesting. And I recovered pretty quickly because I felt like, well, I mean, it's very hard to get published. I'm very new at it. And
Hang on a minute.
what?
You wrote an entire, just to write something and to complete something that you set your mind to in such a short time, pull all your, clap on the, where's our applause button? I don't know. You don't know where all the buttons are on the thing, Dan, but
Thank you.
applause. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
thank you.
How many people do you know are writing a book
Well, I don't know.
and it never gets written?
Well,
And you actually went, you know what? I've got this idea now. I'm going to put everything into it, and
Yeah.
you just went for it.
Oh,
and fucking
thanks.
smashed it.
Oh, thanks.
That's the achievement.
Oh, thanks.
Come
That's
on.
really kind.
Come on.
Yeah, no, I didn't think of that.
Are you serious?
No, well, I think I did, but then I quickly forgot it because I'm always like, what's the
Holy
next
shit.
thing, you know?
Like you said, you got to 70,000 words within a few weeks' time.
Yeah.
While running a business and doing this and doing that and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, thanks.
Come on, Tam.
Oh, thanks. Oh, yeah, cool.
You
that
did
does
it.
feel
You
good.
have written a book.
I have
just
written
hasn't
a
been
book.
published
I
yet.
have written a book. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Yeah, it's
Well
true.
done.
Andy was very proud of me.
I'm
because,
so impressed.
yeah, he thought I was very good because I was
Yeah.
really working till midnight, you know. I do
Yeah.
well with a boundary.
Yeah,
I
a
do
deadline.
really well with a deadline
Yeah.
or I'm going to do this and then I
Yeah.
do it, you know.
Yeah, me too. I got a bit nuts though. I kind of block out the whole world though. It's not.
It was a bit like that. I
Yeah.
had so many words to write in such
Yeah.
a short time.
Yeah.
So that's what happened with that publisher. Next day, I speak to Fremantle Press,
Yeah.
and that's, of course, a Perth-based publisher. I really like the lady, and I said, now I know you need the whole manuscript, and I've only finished my first draft of the whole manuscript.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, we need your polished, full...
Ready to go.
Ready to go. And I said, okay, it's not ready. And she said, great, we have our Hungerford Awards opening in February. Submit it to that, and if you get shortlisted, we publish you. And if you are longlisted, well, it looks good.
Yeah.
And have that as your goal.
Yes.
So I left that going, well, that's what I'm going to do.
Yes.
And I think I am still going to do that.
Do they retain the rights to that once you enter it in those competitions? I had a
don't-
look at that when I was
I
doing
might have to
some
double
short,
check.
Yeah, when I was doing short stories earlier last year, like once you submit it to them, that's it. Like you can't submit it again somewhere else.
Okay, I'll double check that. Because what we had different talks.
I was like, it's my story. I want to submit it everywhere.
Of course. When we
It's a
had
pretty shit story though, so it didn't matter.
I'm sure it wasn't, but anyway, we had publishers as a panel because you could go to a writer's part of the workshop or a reader's part of the workshop. And, of course, I went to the writer's part and they had all the publishers and agents that we were pitching to. Most of them were on the stage. And they said, you know, they were saying how to get published and a lot of them said you can put your book out to as many people as you want. If you get picked up by an agent or a publisher, let everyone else know. Or when you put it into them, say, I have expressed this to several, so you know.
Yeah.
So that's very good advice. I'll check that. But it's more complex than that.
Yeah.
So what happens is I write the book, the first draft. It's based on my life, but I add enough fiction to be able to expand the idea, to protect the guilty or innocent, you know.
A bit more drama than.
Bit more drama. To be honest, actually, there wasn't any more drama than my actual life. It was a very dramatic time. But I added more characters and I added more depth. Anyway, I think there's a whole nother, if I want it to be a book that I'm really proud of, I think there's a whole nother level of input needed. I have one of my very good friends editing it and she's a very clever cookie and very tough in her editing. My book coach was very tough, which I appreciated. My friend editing it is tough and it's given me like the next level of challenge to have it be a book that I'm proud of.
Yeah.
You know, I'm definitely, and you've helped me a lot reminding me, I am proud that I wrote it.
Yeah.
It's also one of those things, which is actually one of my other themes for today. It's one of those things where I've been talking or thinking about writing a book for probably 15 or 20 years.
Yeah.
When the time came for the coach to rock up, the Festival of Fiction to rock up, for my friend to suggest I submit it, for me to have the time to do it, it's a bit like Carly was talking about making space for grace.
Yeah.
It went from almost an unachievable pushing a rock up a steep hill, can't even think how to start, to let's go.
Yeah.
And there was nothing in the way and I just wrote it and finished it and now I'm going to go. So one of two things is going to happen. Sasha, the same one, she said, I said to her, listen, this book is about my life and I'm not sure if it's going to be a good enough read for the reader. And she said, I think she said it to the whole group, not just me. She said, often your first book is for you to work through something and then the second book is for the audience.
Ooh.
So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting whether I actually submit this book to publish or whether I get it to a point where I'm happy with it and then go, and I'm not doing anything else with that.
Yeah.
Because it's so based on my life.
Yeah.
And also the sex scenes are wild.
Ooh.
Like, you know, I can say it's fictional, I actually asked the romance writer, because there was a romance writer there, and I asked how graphic is too graphic, and she said there's no such thing.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, but surely you tip into like triple X porno. She's not in writing.
No.
And do whatever you want.
No.
But then my friend who's editing, she said, oh, my God, I'm going to have to imagine it's not you. And then I said, it's very fictional, to comfort her. So, yeah, it's a bit of a mystery at the moment. But, yeah, thanks. I really like you celebrating that I actually wrote it.
Yeah, I think there's an extra piece to that celebration too.
Yeah.
Because you said, everything fell in place, you've been thinking about it, and then you had this opportunity to do it. You had the coach, you had it. But you still stepped into the arena, if we go back to our Brene
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
Like, I've had space to do things. I've had it, but my ego has still got the better of me and I've chickened out.
Okay.
So the fact that you actually, against the resistance that probably still came up, am I good enough along the way or whatever it was going on?
Yes.
I mean, obviously you had coaches and other people sort of maybe pulling you up a little bit when things got a bit rough, but you still... You went in the arena and you had a good fucking crack at it.
Oh, okay.
Like, even that's a step, you know.
It's true.
Everyone says, I don't have time, whatever. But, that's all bullshit too.
Thanks.
If you want to do something.
Yeah, thanks.
That's a big thing because I know I come up against that a lot in my life where I do have the time to do things, but my ego still sabotages me, and then I work out with my coach what's been happening, and it's all psychological bullshit stories that's telling me I'm not good enough or something, and I chicken out.
Well, it's
but
like
you did it.
Thank you. Yeah, I really like how enthusiastic you are. It's very cool.
Hell yeah.
It's very cool. Thank you.
And it was in your Land of Plenty thing that you did. Your
it was.
Vision.
But interestingly, this is why I'm questioning whether it'll be this or another book.
Yeah.
The book in the Land of of Plenty, I actually don't think is this book. I think it's the next book.
Yeah, right.
And it's actually non-fiction.
Yeah.
I think it's non-fiction.
And what great messages you've sent to your subconscious too, that you can do stuff. Do you know, like you set out to do something, it was hard, but you've done it.
Yes.
So now the next time you go out to do something that's hard, you're like, oh, I've already done that once. So
yeah,
like
it's very
you've
interesting.
set some really good groundwork.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so excited to see your next book. Or this book.
It's going to be very interesting. Yeah, it's going to be
Awesome.
very interesting. And it's tied into a sort of, you know how we often joke here about, I always say, I think I'm done now. And then we laugh because the next thing comes up. You know, there is no done, right? And I got a really big shock because I thought in doing this and what we've been talking about and the celebration of having written it, and then doing whatever I do for whether it be that award or another book, I thought, oh yeah, well that'll be great. And then I'll just pause because I don't know if I want to talk about this publicly. Normally I say I won't, and then we publish it, but we'll just see. Yeah. So the thing that I wanted to talk about was we've talked a lot in here about how I define success, whether I feel successful, when I feel competitive. I had a miracle happen, remind me to tell you. A jealousy miracle. It was a miracle, Danielle.
Next episode or this episode?
This one I'll have to tell you. It was because I didn't have to do anything. Anyway, I'll tell you about it shortly. Yeah. Before I tell you that, I've always had this thing that I will at some point become well known, right? So it's been in the background the whole time. It's just a matter of time and I will become well known. I don't know what level my subconscious had it I would be well known, but known, like maybe not Kardashian known, but known, right? And recently, I don't know what happened, and I had the thought, it just went through my mind, and I thought I might never be known. And that was devastating because it's been in the back of my mind as this comfort, where I get my worth from, whatever I made up at any stage of my life. Don't worry, one day you'll be known. Don't worry, one day you'll be known.
It's a story you're
attached
a
story.
To, yeah.
And I had this thought, I might never be known. Anyway, I was talking to my beloved friend Susie yesterday, who did my hair.
Love Susie.
Love Susie. And I was telling her about this story, and she said, and what would that mean if you were never known? She and I did work years ago with Landmark together and had a great time together. And we were exploring the idea of where we get our worth from, right?
Yes.
Who are we? And when you were saying about your ego stopping, it's like that David White poem. Do you think you'll actually die if you, and you do, you feel like you're going to die,
do,
right?
yeah.
So she said to me, well, what would happen if you weren't known? And I would say, well, there's no point to me. Didn't start crying or anything because I think I've done so much work in this area. I can kind of feel those things without as much devastation now, right? But I was like, oh, wow. So there's no point, is there, unless you get known.
Yeah.
And if you loop all the way back to that retreat when I got that fundamental worth,
Yes.
I don't have to be known to be worthy, but I've had a story that has always been there. And when I faced it, that might never happen, which is very recent, I'm still kind of in it.
Yeah.
The upset of that, but also the awakening of the illusion that is. So, so Susie said to me, but, even if no one ever knew you, you're still a great person. And I said, I totally get that, but only in reverse, because if I think of anyone I know, their value for me has nothing to do with how much they've achieved or who knows them. So I get it logically.
Yes, logically is one thing. Yeah.
But it's been this story for me.
Yeah, totally.
So as I look at this, whether it be writing this book or whether I be doing anything else, a little bit like when I came back from the retreat and went, well, what do I actually want to do? If I'm not driven by this need to be seen that I made up at some point in how I get my worth, if I don't need to do it for that reason, what will I be acting on? What will I be doing? It's still a bit of a mystery, to be honest, but the more I let go of that burden of that story, that made up BS story, of course, the more joy and freedom and everything else comes into my actual life.
Yeah,
Right?
totally. Totally. It's nothing like pulling back that curtain of the illusion, is it?
Honestly.
Just fucking blows your mind. Blows your mind. And you're like, God, I've been thinking that way for such a long time.
So
and
long.
you see it with such reality.
And you go, hang on.
Yeah.
What if I...
Yeah.
Like I love that saying.
It's not real.
How's that going for you? It's one of my favourite lines. How's that going for you? Well, actually, I don't know if I'd recommend it. Anyway, I'll tell you about my miracle. So I've had two miracles. I've been working on all this stuff, feeling comfortable with people, dealing with my jealousy stuff, had great breakthroughs. But I sort of still felt like, I'd still have to work on it. If I got triggered, I'd still have to work through a process.
Yeah.
So I won't feel confidentiality because I don't know the person very well and I want to be respectful. There was a person recently, it came up on LinkedIn, and they were doing the launch of their book, right? And normally, of course, that's so close to the kind of thing I want to do, and they've worked in the same kind of area I've traditionally worked in. I would have been in hell and then post my recent revelations in purgatory, worked it out for a while, probably only a few hours, not a few days. I saw this post came up. I had no reaction. Zero. I went, oh, well done. And then I went, what the hell? And I went, oh, my God. And I congratulated the person, which I've always been pretty good at, even if I'm in hell. I'm like, that's not their fault. But I was like, hey, good job, congratulations. And I was like, why am I having no reaction?
Was this while you were working on your book and everything?
No, it was after. It was only very recent. And it really should in quotes, still been a trigger.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't.
Yeah.
And then I had a different version where I was at a social thing where normally I would enjoy it for a moment, then start to suffer, feel anxious, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Thought, I'm not going to enjoy this. Rocked up, loved it, not one problem.
I have a theory.
Okay, go. Go.
Because you're doing so many things that are on your path of like being really who you are. You're doing your true nature and purpose and you're living that. It's very fulfilling. It's fulfilling to the point that the other stuff comes, it just is not such a big deal. Because you're like I said, was it around the time you've written a book? Because you're like, I am doing my thing.
Yes.
And doing it for me and doing it the best, doing your thing. So when the other things come up, they just don't have as much when we're kind of like a little bit lost and we're not doing our thing and we're like, what is my thing?
Yeah.
The little things affect us more, I think, because we're
Maybe
looking for
that's
distraction or our ego's playing the thing. But because you've been doing so much on your path, your ego hasn't been as loud. It might have gone, hey, look at this thing. And you're like, yeah, well, I've got a book to write. I got things to do.
Yeah, I got things to do.
I don't have time to be jealous or anxious or whatever.
Right. You might be right.
It's very fulfilling when you're when you have, especially when you have momentum with those things. And there's a few things that are cooking and it's like you've followed the breadcrumbs and you're like really on the path.
Yeah.
The other stuff just doesn't seem to...
That might be right, actually, particularly around the jealousy one, because the book the person was doing was something I used to do, I don't want to do anymore. And maybe you're right. Maybe there was just that support internally of, well, there's no comparison because it's a different thing and I'm doing a different thing.
Yeah. And you're strong in your thing at the moment, you've got that momentum and you're grounded in it.
Yeah. Yeah, how interesting.
That's how it felt when you said it.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's very cool.